We are live, sir.
Good morning and welcome to everyone. Yesterday we discussed today I am back with a continuation of what we did yesterday. My name is Mr. Pudiani MB. I have my host who is Mr. KIM. And then I hope you are going to enjoy this lesson today since you started with me, and then I hope we will finish everything together. We are almost nearly at the end of the topics of grade 4 for term 2. You must clap the hands for yourself because you are ahead, covered almost 70 for term 2. So I thank you for being part of us all the time and being present even when it is difficult. So I'm going to start with my objectives of today. We can move to the next slide and look at our objectives. That yesterday we have dealt with the 3 shapes. Yes, yesterday we dealt with the 3 cubics shapes. The first shape was the circular tube. The second one was the rectangular tube. The third one was the triangular tube. We did this round tube is a hollow tube. Yes, hollow. This one is triangular tube. And then the other one, which is a rectangular tube. This one, rectangular, or you can rather call it a square tube. We managed to put books on top of these tubes to see which one could carry the number of books, more number of books. So on this one, the circular tube, we managed to put 14 books on top. On this one, the triangular tube, we managed to put 6 books. On the tube, we managed to put only 6 books. That is what we did yesterday. Now we are continuing today. So at the end of this lesson, you must be able to explain how to make a tightly rolled tube of paper. You must be able to explain why the tightly rolled tube is the strongest. Yes, we did measure the strength of the 3, but today we are going to do the tightly rolled one. We can go to the next slide and see what it holds for us. Yes, those are our 2 objectives. Now, let us talk about the lesson of today. We need to find another way to strengthen a sheet of paper. Strengthening a sheet of paper have many ways. So it will be stronger if we roll it tightly. The sheet must be placed on the flat table, a wooden dowel, or a stick slightly longer than the paper is placed towards the bottom. So here we are going to take a paper that I'm holding. We are going to roll it around a dowel, a stick that we are going to use again. Yes, we are going to use a stick. We put it inside this hole. And thereafter, we are going to fold the bottom of them, then roll it tightly up to the top. So we are also going to glue the edges and remove the dowel. So that is what we are going to do today. That is what I'm going to do. With me, I'm having a dowel. A dowel is only a stick. There's nothing more serious about this terminology, is this stick. Then I must roll this paper around this stick. I must roll it around. As you can see, I'm having a paper, then I must roll it around here, and thereafter, and glue the edges. Glue where it ends. So I'm going to start doing it now. As I'm speaking, I'm having my dowel. You can also take something, but it must be longer than the paper so that you are able to remove it. Now I am rolling it down. As you can see, I'm busy rolling it. I roll it around, roll it around, roll it around. Yes, I'm trying to roll it straight. It looks like a flag. As I'm rolling it, you look at it, it looks as if it's a flag. Then I roll it around. Then it must be tight. It must be very tight. It must be very tight. Then I don't have the glue. What I'm going to use is the sellotape. I'm going to tape it here to make sure that this paper stick together. Yes, I'm going to tape it together to make sure that this is attached very, very still. Yes, here is the paper, the sellotape I'm having. Then I'm going to make sure that it sticks. By the way, I made a lot of rolls. I made a lot of layers. It's not one layer. As you can see, it's many layers. It's a lot of layers here connected to itself. Then I can use another sellotape to make sure that it's very strong, and then it does not separate, or it does not disintegrate. So if you have a glue, you can use a glue, but I'm having a sellotape with me. I'm making sure that it sticks together. Then I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove it from the dowel. You see now it can move. It moves outside of the dowel. Yet this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing. It looks like a pipe, but it's a very small pipe. Very, very small pipe. Yes, it looks like a pipe, but it's very small. It can stand on itself. But this one is very thin, but it's okay. Even this size for you, for grade 4 level, is the correct size you must make. Now number 6, I was supposed to glue the top edge, but I've used the tape, which is fine. The tape is still fine. I can still use the tape. There is no problem. The tape is also a good thing to put things together or to make things to. Go to the next slide and see what is it that you must know. So we are finished with our struct. Remember, a struct is a member of a structure that is able to take the compression force. It's able to take the compression force. If you press it together like that, then it can be able to stand the pressure. You are trying to push it towards the two ends, then it will just stay the way it is. It will not fold, it will not bend. It means it is a struct. So we can go to the next slide and see what it holds for us. We can go to the next slide. Hello? Okay. We can move to the next slide. Yes, on the next slide, I have the questions for you. I have the questions for you. Number A, how must the paper be placed on the table? When you make this thing, how must you place it on the table? I have somebody who have the answer for me. Laurentia and Naledi. Yes. What do you think we must do? Laurentia, how must the paper be placed on the table and why? I've got 4 people who have the answer. Can I have one of you to answer the question? Ramu and Zoe. Okay. It must be put like what?
Can you please keep quiet? It must be put up straight. So it must be like a ruler.
It must be
like
flat.
a person's
Oh,
head.
good. No, you are right. You are right. I think even other learners, they do know the answer. It must be flat. It must be flattened. Why? The reason is that so that you are able to fold it straight. That is what you were saying, which is correct. Something that you can put flat on the floor, you are able to fold it straight the way you want. So if it is not a flat surface, then the other side might be lower, the other side might be higher. Then as you fold it, it's going to make bumps. And then that is what you don't want. You want it to be straight. Number B, what should be added to make sure that the paper does not unroll? Look, I rolled it like this. So to make sure that it does not unroll, what is it that must we add to this paper? I'll just click on these people who raised their hands. Ramu and Zo. Yes. What is your answer, Ramu? What is your answer? Zo and Laurentia. Anybody with the answer? Hello? What do you think must be added to make the paper not to unroll? Okay, I believe you understand this question. When you apply the glue on the edges, meaning where the paper ends, then it will be able to stick on to itself, and it will not unroll. Or you can add what, if it's not a glue, you can use the tape. Like I did now, I use the tape to make sure that it can stick to this roll so that it does not unroll back. Number C, why should the sticky dowel or the dowel be longer? Here is my stick, the stick I was using. Did you see? It's very long, very, very long. is very long, but I was using this thing. But this part is not important for me. What I was looking for was only this part. Now it is longer than this paper. Why is it long? Why is it long? Anybody answer? Lady, can you tell me why should the stick be longer? Why should the stick be longer? Okay, the answer is that the stick Hello, we can go to the next slide. Okay. Now, yes. Now we want to measure the strength of this paper, dowel. We want to measure the strength of this paper, then what we must do is we take the rolled paper of the stick and try to bend the roll in the middle. It should not bend easily. Now, as I'm holding this thing, I'm going to try to bend it. I'm going to try to bend it. I don't know, something wrong happened, but it will be fine. I'm going to try to bend it in the middle. as I'm trying to bend it, but this, it is not flexible like it used to be when it was not rolled the same as I did now. So I can make 4 more rolls using the same method and place them over the gap between the 2 desks. Then place the object in the middle of the rolls. Now I can roll 4 more of the same size and put something in the middle to see if it is going to give away or bend. So the same method I can use and make 4 more rolls using the same stick and the same methods and roll 4 of them, but I'm only going to roll the second one because of time. I cannot roll many of them. As I'm rolling them, then it's rolled, then I can make sure that it is straight. Yes, when it is straight, then I use the tape. As usual, this is what we normally do. If you don't have the tape, you can use the glue. But for me, for now, I'm using the tape. Then I'm going to make sure that even if it's big, it's fine. I can just stick it so that it holds in place. Here is the other roll. This one is bigger, but this is the roll that I made. Yes. Now on this roll, I'm going to make sure that I put it between the 2 things. Then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this so that I put this thing across. Yes, it must be across like this. I think everybody can see at this point. Yes. Somebody's going to bring me something, then I'm going to put it here between the 2 things, between the 2 rolls, to see if see if I can also put yes, I'm going to put something in the middle to see if it bends. I'm going to use this thing because they did not tell you what object must I put. I can try to put this thing here. If I put it here, do you see it is still stiff, it doesn't bend. Yes, because the paper are rolled so that they make what we call a strut. And this strut makes sure that it does not bend. Okay, now let me put it aside. According to this investigation, you can put even more of them so that you see how strong it is. Then you can place many, many more and see how many you can place until it gives away or it bends or it breaks. It depends on the type of things that you put on top. Then if it does not bend easily or does not break easily, it means the strut is strong. This lesson. Go to the next slide to ask you the few questions about what we have done on this lesson. So on the next part, I'm going to ask you the questions which you must answer, which is part of part 2 of the lesson, that you must be able to understand that the strut is the most stiff or the strongest member of a structure. If you're having a structure and the structure contains what you call the strut. The strut is a member, like if I'm holding objects or structures like this shape that I am holding here, this is the strut and this is the strut. If you put another shape here, it will be the strut. But this one is not the strut. The strut is a very stiff member of the structure, the one which is a bit hard to break, that we call it a strut. Since we have done it in the last lesson, that we have what we call a guy. A guy is in the form of a rope. If you pull the rope like the tent, you have the rope to pull the tent and make it tight. As a guy. Or if you have a fence, then you want to make it straight. Maybe it is leaning downwards, then you want to make it straight. You can use the guy, meaning the guy is the rope used to pull the structures so that they can be straightened. So the strut, this one, it only absorbs the pressure. It absorbs the pressure. As I'm pushing from the left to the right, then the pressure is absorbed. So it is able to prevent things from being compressed. That is what is the function of the strut. Let's go to the next slide for the questions. Let's go to the next slide for the questions. Yes, I see people raising their hands. Maybe they're having. Laurentia, do you have something to say?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, so like if you roll it up from your stick, can
Yeah.
can you like make it thinner than the stick? If you roll it up on your stick, can you make it thinner than the stick?
Okay, it's obvious that you cannot make it thinner than the stick. It depends on the size. The size of your paper depends on the size of the stick. It won't be thinner than the stick, unless maybe after folding it, you can just try to make it tight, fold it again, try to make it tight. Other people can fold it without even using the stick. You can do that without using the stick. It's still possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, and you help other learners to understand better. So somebody else, we have a question so far. Any other person? Zoe?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what do you say, Zoe?
I say that when you put more things on the two sticks, they're going to start to break.
Yes, you are right. If you put more things, is correct, they will start to break. That is a fact, it's a known fact. But here, what we're trying to do or to find out is when you put, before for it to break, you must put more things. That is what we wanted to find out. It was not supposed to break easily. So you are right with that question and the answer. Thank you very much. Okay, I think everybody raised their questions, and then I did answer their questions. Now, thank you for that. Now it's my turn for me to ask you the questions. Let's go to the next slide. I think on the next slide, we have the questions that I must ask you. Yes, now you see now, on this this part is the activity which you are supposed to do. Then we remember on the last presentation yesterday, we did measure the strength of the three shapes, the hollow tubes, which was circular, and the one which was rectangular, and the one which was triangular. We did measure the strength of these ones. And on the circular tube, we had a number of 14 books. Yes, 14 books were able to be put on the circular tube. And then 6 books were able to be put on a rectangular tube. And then triangular tube, we were also able to put the number of books, it was 6 as well. Now you add the other column. Do you see on the graph, we have the one with which have nothing. That column, it means we must put information that how many books can we put on top before it can fall down. Yes, we must know how many books we must put on top. So yesterday I used smaller books, but today let me use this book that I'm having here and see how many books it can hold before it falls down. Unfortunately, you see, I have got bigger books here compared to yesterday. I've got bigger books. Yesterday, I had smaller books, but now let me try to be unfair today. Now, here is book number 1. Book number 1, number 2, three, 4. Yes, this one are bigger books. 5. It is standing still. Do you see? I put 5, but big books, bigger than the ones that I put yesterday. Now, let me put 3. It will be 8. If I put this 3, it will be 8 on top. Okay. Now I have 8 books. 8 books on top, heavy books on top. Now, number 9. You must remember these books are heavier than the ones that I was trying to put yesterday. Okay. Number 9. Yeah, just look what is happening. Yes, number 10. Number 10. With number 10 is starting to bend. Number 10 is 10 books on top, no breaking. Look, now it fall on number 10. Number 10, it fall down. 10 books, it fall down. Now I'm coming to this one. This one is the, what is the triangular, That one was managed to carry, this one was managed to carry 10 books. And now this one, let's come to this one, the triangular. I changed the books. 1, then 2, then 3. Now 3 books is enough. Triangular, 3 books is enough. 3 books, then it broke. Then I come to the rectangular one to see how many books it can carry. Here is the rectangular. Then I'm going to put the books again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, But after number 5, you see it now start to bend and now it broke. This one was able to carry about 5 books. Now, I come to the circular. Let me make another circular one very quickly. Yes, I'm missing another circular one. This is the circular tube. I'm also going to try it to see what is going to happen to it. Remember, on the triangular one, we were able to put 3 books. On the rectangular, we put how much books? 5 books, ne? And then on that other one, the one which is very strong, I think we put around 10 books. The paper dowel, the one made from was tightened so that it becomes very strong. Now I'm trying to get the tape that can make this one so that I want to be fair, because yesterday I used different books, and if I change the books, then it becomes a different investigation. It becomes a different investigation. Okay, now I have my tape because I want to be fair. I want to be fair, not cook the numbers, because if I cook the numbers, it means I am cheating you. Now I've got the circular one here. Let me put here 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was able to put 7 books. The circular one was able to put 7 books on top. Now you can see these 4 things, these 4 tubes. Let me put them according to their strength. This one made from the rolled paper, it is the strongest because it carried 10 books. Yeah, I put 10 books on top. And then with the next one, I put how many books here? I put how many books here? Yeah, I think I put around 7 books here on this one. The circular one. And on this one, I think it was around 4. This one was 3. So 3, 4, 7, 10. So you can decide on your own to see this one is the strongest, and this one, they follow each other according to their strength. Meaning the strut is more stronger than the circular tube, and the circular tube is more stronger than the rectangular tube, and the rectangular tube is more stronger than the triangular tube. Now you can see the strength of these 4 shapes. Then you can put it on the graph. Make sure that you write the numbers there on the graph, which one is the strongest. You can do this investigation on your own at home. You'll see that I was fair. Use your own books that you write on. You just put them, you pile them on top. You must always put the same books on the tightly rolled one, and you also try to put the same books on the circular tube, the rectangular tube, and the triangular tube, and see what type of results is it going to give you on the graph. Remember, on the graph, I told you yesterday that we have what we call the other side, which is straight from top to bottom. We're having the numbers 0 up to 6, but you can add the numbers, make sure that it is up to maybe 10, 12 years. make it a bit longer, because on a circular tube, you write the number of books that it was, how much it was. On the circular one, it was around 7. Then on the rectangular, I think it was 4. On a triangular, it was 3. And then on a rolled up paper, the last one, the one without the colors, then you are going to, according to my investigation, it was 10 books before it could break. But do your own investigation, record the data and transfer it to this graph so that you have your own investigation. It will give us different results, but the fact is that the rolled up one will carry more load than the rest of the type of paper tubes. So I also have the legend. Do you see the yellow color, the blue color, the triangular, and the rolled up? If you have the yellow crayon, you use the yellow crayon for the circular up to number 10. You make the bar up to number 10. You are going to use the blue one for the rectangular to show that it was up to, if it was up to number 4, then you are going to do up to number 4. Then if you come to the triangular, I think it was 3. You are going to color up to number 3. The rolled up paper was up to number 10. You are going to use the gray one. Those are the colors. It's important that your graph must be colorful so that it can be easily interpreted. And now on the other side, on the numbers, you are going to write number of books. Then at the bottom there, the type of shape. When somebody reads your graph, it is able to be understood very well that it is having the 2 sides, which is the number of books and the type of shape. And you write those 4 shapes. Using different colors, those will be the bars that go up. Yes, according to the number of books. We can go to the next slide and see the questions. I think I've got some few questions to ask you before we can go. Now, where should you place the objects on the rolls? You remember I was busy with the 2 rolls. Then I managed to put this object on top. It's simple. Laurentia, what do you say? Laurentia, I see you are raising the hand. Yes, thank you. I believe you know that you put them on top of the rolls. Those objects, you want to check the strength by putting the objects on top. Number 2, why are the rolls stronger? Laurentia, why are the rolls stronger? Yes. I want to know, why are the rolls strong?
Because they hold more strength than the others, because their holes are thinner, but meaning something small can be something strong.
Okay, thank you for the answer. You are very brilliant. Yes, it's correct. Laurentia is right. It's because they are rolls. Rolls, it means is lot of layers. Rolls have been, you remember in the last lesson, we learned that if you want to strengthen material, you must, what must you do? You must add more layers by laminating them. That is what we talked about, not in this lesson. The last 2 lessons, we learned that the more you add layers of a material, it becomes stronger. So the rolled paper, simple, the roll means lot of layers, then it will be stronger. It's obvious. Then number 3, which structure that you know was made from rolls? What do we call the structure made from rolls? What is the name of that structure? You remember this one, it is a paper tube, ne? It is a paper tube. And this one we used another name for this one. This other one, we did not use the same name. We use a different name. What is that name that I've just indicated to you? 2 people have raised their hands. Yes, so what do you think?
A rolled tube.
Is a what? Is a roll tube, ne?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, but let me correct you quickly. This one, we call it a strut, ne? We call it,
Yes.
the name of is a strut, and this one is a tube. But they look like tubes, all of them. This one, we're actually trying to make it thinner so that the hole becomes very small. It's just that my dowel is very big, ne? Thank you very much for that.
Welcome, Sam.
Very strong. Why are the rolls very strong structures? I just gave the answer to you. Laurentia, I just gave you the answer now. I just gave you the answer. Before I go to the question, you already know the answer.
Because they have layers.
Good. Thank you very much for the answer. You are very brilliant girl. They have got layers, means they have been strengthened by adding more layers. That is how you can strengthen a structure. It means if this one is thick and this one is thin, the strength have more strength on the thicker layer than a thinner layer. The same applies to the paper. You know, the paper that covers your book, normally they use hard one. It's a bit stronger because it is thicker than the papers that you write on. Let's come to the next slide and complete our lesson of today, which is very important so that you are able to do the practical task for term 2. Now, for you to get more information, you can go to YouTube and watch how to make a strong paper bridge. Just copy that address and ensure that you get more information on YouTube on how to make a paper bridge. You'll see somebody using paper, only paper, to make a bridge, and see which one, what materials, and then how are those materials being used to make that bridge. That is the end of today's lesson. Now, if you go back to our objectives, you will see what we were able to achieve today. That is that we were more concerned about the strut, because yesterday we did the rolled, we did what you called the circular, triangular, and rectangular hollow papers. Today it was the strut. So the two things are not nearly the same, but they are not actually the same. So tomorrow we are going to learn about the frame structure. Here I'm going to build something using the frames to see the frame structure, how should it look like? And then which frame structure are we having in our bodies? So for today, I thank you for joining me. And then I also hope that even tomorrow you are going to come back, because I'm going to complete this part this week. Tomorrow is the last day to complete this part that is all about structures. So that after this part, then you will be able to do the practical task, which is an assessment task to be recorded for your marks for term 2. So thank you for today. And then I thank all of you, those who were able to come through and participate, give the answers. Zoe, Laurentia, many more others who were unable to talk to me. But next time, just be early so that you are able to be picked when you raise your hand. And then I love you all, and please keep staying at home. And then till we meet tomorrow, when I'll be talking about the frame structures. Bye-bye for today, and love you all. And thank you, Mr.